The fact of the matter is, whether you've been in network marketing for years or just a few days, your family and friends have seen your opportunity and your phone is, as we call it, burnt. If you're anything like me, that's a scary thought. So the big question is, how do entrepreneurs like us, who love the network marketing profession, who no longer want to be that guy, and are tired of convincing people during uncomfortable let's get coffee meetings where they say, what's this all about? How do we market in a way that aligns us with our dream clients and expands our network of upfront and transparent professionals, allowing us to get our time back, our families back, and gain a real passive asset? People like us who value impact over income, we deserve to see our visions once and for all. Join me in this podcast where we'll uncover just how to do that. My name is Eric Sablon. Welcome to Burnt Phone Marketing. What is going on, everybody? Eric Sablon here with Burnt Phone Marketing, and I have an amazing treat for you guys today. Not only do I have an amazing guest, but I have my wingman, my man, Mr. Brown, and you're going to see this a little bit more often. You're going to see us kind of do, I wouldn't call it a tag team interview, but kind of an interview with multiple perspectives, because he thinks a little different than I do, and I think a little bit different than he does. So I'm more future casting, and he's more like in the weeds, like what's going on right now. So guys, be ready for these interviews because they are going to be so unique and so different that if you've listened to interviews with us before, that moving forward is going to be 2022 is just going to be amazing, immense, and you're going to get massive amounts of value. But enough about us. I have an amazing guest today, and stay to the end because she's got some amazing things. She's got some really, really cool concepts that she's going to provide for you guys today. But she started a brick and mortar business years ago, and that business did over 7 figures. She also branched out to online. So one thing that's crazy is she did that inside a beauty industry where she thought, well, most people think it's super saturated. She really dialed in her services, really dialed in what she was doing, and made it an experience. She got everybody the Apple experience, the Nordstrom's experience, that experience. She brought that online, and you could tell with her passion and what she's doing, and the things that she's doing with her online coaching program, and the things that she's been doing. She is somebody totally different, someone amazing to work with. She built a group from 0 to 68,000 in less than 24 months. But here's the cool thing. She literally did 60,000 people in 1 year, in 12 months. That is like adding 165 people a day. Imagine getting 165 new leads a day. Can you handle it? Hashtag I can't. So that being said, I want to introduce a good friend of mine, someone that we met on the internet. She came to one of our events. She's just like an amazing individual. She's got a heart of gold. Please welcome Miss Starr Codd to the show. Starr, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here today, Eric. I'm so excited to be here with you and Fabian.
Yeah, it's going to be different. So I'm gonna start it off. So some of the people, some of our audience don't know who you are. I kind of talked about it a little bit, but tell us. And if you want to learn a little bit about the beginnings of Starr, go ahead and listen to the episode that she was on. This is the second time she's on the episode. But what I want to really focus on is what's changed since the last episode that we had together, where you were really getting into coaching. What's changed since then?
Oh, wow. So much has changed in my world. And I want to say a lot of it is mindset for me, money mindset. So I've been able to get clients results and own that, and also raise my prices and get paid that too. Whereas before it's like, oh, nobody's going to pay me that. And I feel like a lot of coaches struggle with that when they first get started. And I definitely was guilty of that.
Yeah, sometimes we don't know our value. Sometimes we don't understand that, like, the thing that comes easiest to us, people will pay for, but we think it's just something like, oh, this is just something that I do. This is something that it comes easy with me. One of my mentors, I was talking to her, she's like, it comes easy for you. You should charge for it. And I'm like, I had the epiphany. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It's like Mr. Brown, when he gets on the mic and he teaches, it's amazing what he does and how he does it. So Fabian, I'm welcoming you. You've interviewed me on my 100th episode. I mean, not my 100th, but my 360th day of podcasting. You've been on the show. We've been working together. We understand how to use Zoom. We do all that. So I'm going to turn over the mic like I normally do, and I'm going to let you ask a couple of questions to Starr, because I know that your questions are very in the weeds, like how do you do this? Who, what, when, where, how do you do this? And mine are more like, hey, look, this feels good, esoteric type thing. So you pick that up, you go right into it, and then I'll pick up at the end and kind of talk about some really, really cool things that Starr has going on.
Oh, I love it. In the weeds. I've been actually accused of waffling too much. And if you are not familiar with that term, waffle, I just learned this term. Apparently, that's more of a British, UK, European type. That means you just kind of like, wax poetic. You're just kind of like going on and on and on and on. So I've learned to not waffle. So hopefully, Starr, I can ask you some direct questions here without waffling too much. And thanks for, again, Eric, thanks for letting me share some time here on your podcast. And Starr, thanks for being a guest, and it's being awesome. I have so much respect for not only what you've done and what you've created, but the vision that you have moving forward for the future for you and for your clients. And I'm going to jump right into it because I have some questions written down here. I don't think I'll have the time to get through all of them. Maybe there will be a part 2 episode sometime in the near future. But you're in the coaching industry. You are empowering women to, really come up to the plate, step up to the plate, and be the best versions of themselves and support their audience. And what I want to ask you is, what do you think professional coaches, what do you think their biggest struggle is when it comes to keeping their clients enrolled in their container and producing and getting results?
So I think the biggest challenge with that is setting realistic expectations for your clients and presenting a timeline to them before they enroll into your program. So when I have sales calls, my sales calls are a bit different than the traditional sales calls, by the way. I do a presentation style, which has supported me in my sales ability. There's a visual timeline of what you're going to be doing in my program over the course of 6 months or a year. And with that, they have realistic expectations on, by this month, I should have achieved this specific result, and they're going to be working towards that. So this is where I see a lot of clients go wrong. They have sales calls with people and they may be amazing at closing the sale and, oh, you're going to lose this amount of weight and you're going to make this amount of money. And my client did that in this amount of time. And yeah, some people are going to get results at a different trajectory and some people will exceed others in the program. But by having that timeline, they can say, oh, okay, I see. By month 2, I'll be accomplishing this. Month 3 through 6, I'll be working on this. And months 8 through 12, I'll be achieving this. And then at that point, they can discern whether or not this is a program that's a fit for them.
Oh, I absolutely love it. We teach something very similar. We teach our clients that they have to have their expectations equal the experience that the client is going to go through. And if those two things aren't in alignment, that's when you get people who won't retain or won't ascend through other programs that you may have to offer, or they donate money to your coaching program and they just don't do the work and they don't show up. For the life of me, I still don't understand why people would do that. Spend thousands of dollars on something, make a commitment to get somewhere, and then just kind of fall flat. But us coaches, we have to take accountability for that. It's not so much, it's a two-way street. It's not just the client, it's also on the coach as well. And that's a great answer. So that really leads nicely to the next question, because how do you think that struggle for the coach, how do you think that struggle shows up in their own work, or in their finances, or in their relationships with their clients?
Yeah, well, their clients can end up being resentful because they assume that they were going to achieve a specific result, and then they're not speaking to their coach or coming to the coaching calls where they can actually really benefit from that. Or what you'll find is, the retention. So their clients start to fall off from the program. They're no longer paying or no longer enrolled inside of the program. So that definitely impacts the cash flow. So that's why I feel like instead of just trying to get all the money up front and, oh, I enrolled X number of clients, like I'd rather enroll quality clients who are ready for what we're going to be doing. And to speak to what you were also saying, Fabian, when people are not doing the work, sometimes the pricing is too low as well. So I did notice, like, as I raise my prices, I actually get more serious and committed people. And they do understand that, hey, I'm here to show up and do the work as well.
Oh, that is such a solid thing. And I know we were chatting a little bit offline before Eric went live here, but that does bring a better quality individual. And once a coach knows their value, and that's a thing too. And this is kind of off script here, right? How would you help if you were working with a client and you were discussing price points on what they should push their offer out to the world, and they may have this little Mickey Mouse thinking about them that, oh, I only want to charge whatever, something on the lower tier sides. What would you say, or how would you encourage your client to know that their worth and their value is something more than what they're thinking of?
Well, first of all, I have my clients, kind of take an assessment and more of a checklist, like, what is your educational background? What is your career background? And what could you get paid to do? And what do your family and friends come to you for, to ask questions all the time? Is this something you can get paid to do? So we established that. We also established, like, what results they've gotten for themselves, as well as either clients, or if they're new to the industry, family and friends that they've supported. What have those results looked like? And at the end of the day, we're not looking at whether it be a financial gain. Some of these people are getting results that are not financially driven, but what is the lifelong value of that? So I have them assess, what's the value that you can give your client over the next 3 months versus 12 months versus lifetime. When they hear about the lifetime value of that they've allowed their individual clients to achieve, things start to shift for them. But I will say this, Fabian, I don't force my clients to raise their prices, because they have to be fully behind and in alignment with the confidence level and the price that they're asking for, in order for them to sell and get results. So sometimes I will allow them that space to sell at a lower price point. Once they start getting their clients results and they're excited, then they naturally, just like I did, were willing to raise their prices.
Did you see what she said right there? Just like I did, right? Because we all come into this situation with some kind of limiting self-belief or doubt that, our value or our worth isn't there until we do it. I remember wanting to offer a higher ticket program, and working with David and Eric, and there was some reluctancy on one of our team members' part, because they have never themselves invested in a high ticket program, so they don't even know what one would look like, right? So it's okay, let's solve that problem right now. So what did we do? We sought out a coaching program, we invested, and it casted a vision. So I totally get it. It's a process of getting through your own experiences to be able to come to that realization. And I love how you make them really reflect on what their skill sets are and what the lifetime value of. That's really I'm taking notes here, Starr. I'm definitely taking notes. Eric, do I have time for maybe one or two more questions? What are we
Fire
looking
away.
like here?
Go ahead. You're
Fire away.
good.
Okay,
Those questions have been fantastic. You get two.
Well, I want to talk about some pitfalls, some roadblocks, some mistakes that coaches will typically get into, especially when starting out, getting into wanting to be a coach, right? What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see coaches, leaders in this industry come to when it's making their offer? What are some of the big common mistakes that you see?
So some of the common mistakes are wanting to serve a niche because they feel like they're excited about it, but it's not something that people are willing to spend top dollars for. That's a big thing that has to be addressed up front. So just because we are passionate about it doesn't mean it's going to sell. So I usually have my clients think about 3 areas that they can focus on, and then we assess 3 different areas of that. Their ability to teach on the concept right away, bring it to market, but also the ability for individuals to want to invest high ticket. So that's one mistake. The second mistake is that they are afraid to talk about their own success and results. We need social proof in order for people to buy from you. And some of them are like, well, I don't have social proof. You are your own social proof, whatever that looks like. You need to be talking about it all the time. The other thing is, they either show up very scattered and unorganized on social media. So they're posting all the time, but they're not asking for the sale, or they don't have a routine or a system where they're actually a marketing and sales system so that they can actually generate sales into the business. Those are the big holes, I think, for coaches starting out.
Got it. I love that. And this next question ties directly into that. And then I'll give it back to you, Eric. You know, what would you say to those coaches who are going through those big mistakes? You know, what are they avoiding or even ignoring? And what should they do to course correct that?
Hire a coach. Because a lot of these people are going at it alone or making these low ticket investments into courses, and they're not willing to invest in a high ticket mentor that's really going to be, that has been through this, that can kind of coach them through the process.
I love it. Direct and to the point. Star, thanks so much for, I don't know, just being first class and entertaining my questions and thoughts. And this is why one of the reasons why I love what you do and the people that you serve, because you're coming from this really authentic, genuine place, not just from some theory or something you read in a book, but you're coming from your life experiences, and that really is apparent and evident here in this conversation. So thanks for jamming out with me, Star. I really appreciate
Thanks
that.
so much, Fabian. It's my pleasure.
All right,
Stay
Eric, you
on,
got it,
Fabian.
bro.
Stay on, Fabian, because if you want to chime in on a couple of these questions. So, I have one question that I like to ask everyone that, what right now, Star, what are you working on? What are you working on, and where can people find you? Besides that, you have a 68,000 person Facebook group. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so my main stomping grounds are Facebook over Instagram right now, but I am branching out into Instagram. So they can find me there under Starr Codd, or just follow me directly on Facebook, or join my community called Successful Women Entrepreneurs. And right now, what I'm working on is I've made my programs evergreen, which has enabled me to continuously scale my business. I'm also working on activities to bring in sales outside of launching. So yes, I love launches. I've been very successful at them. It's something that I teach and specialize in. I've been able to bring in 20 to 60 women into my own launches, and some of my clients as well. But we are also looking at things outside of the launching strategy to consistently enroll clients. So that's what I'm working on right now. And I have an academy that's brand new, in addition to the mastermind. Both are now evergreen. So I love having that model in place for my business.
I love all coaches love Evergreen. Like, Evergreen is like, once you create something and then it goes out there and goes out there, people don't think about it. Like, once you create something evergreen, it's like Michael Jackson money, because it literally will just keep going, and like there's royalties on it. If you think about it, there's royalties on it. And then I love what you said, like what you can do afterwards, being able to do that. You're scaling your business, and you're not taking your foot off the gas. You're still delivering the results that course already gave. And now you're able to focus on some bigger things, or get more people involved with less of your effort, which is huge. And Paul J. Meyer says it best: I'd rather have 1% of 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of mine. And that's literally what you're creating. You're creating a system and leverage, which, like, all you network marketers out there that just heard that, that's called residual income, leverage, and evergreen. So just take a little note on that one. This and also what I'll do is I'll put all of that information inside the show notes. So if you're listening to this podcast or you're catching this on Facebook, inside the comments or inside the show notes, you'll be able to click a link and connect with Starr on her Facebook, Instagram, and we might put something special on there. Maybe she'll give you a free gift or something like that. I know she's a marketer, so she does that kind of stuff. I got two more questions for you, and and these are gonna be like very esoteric, kind of like all out there, like vision type questions. So the first question is I actually have been reading the book by Tony Robbins, Master the Money Game, and he has asked Warren Buffett and Charles Schwab and all of these industry leaders this question, and it's so impactful to me. But I like to put it through a frame of business, not finances, and they all kind of mirror together. But the question is, if there's one principle or framework that you could pass down to your family, friends, your people, your generations, not money. So it can't be money. It can only be a principle or a framework in coaching. What would that be?
It would be to focus on what you're passionate about. And the reason I say that is a lot of us will go to college to get degrees in certain areas based on just what you said, that income, but then we're living a life that we're not happy about and fulfilled with.
That's huge. Like focus on something that you're passionate about, because the cliche, it says, if you do something you love, you never go to work a day in your life. So, but really focus on it. And
Exactly.
there's so many people out there that are like, they're happy with their money, and they have the proverbial golden handcuffs. Like, you're not going anywhere because you're tied to the money, but it's not what you love. And that's hard. That's hard to do. But there's 97% of the people are in that struggle. And the final question is, I asked this question to all of my clients, and it kind of is really, really big picture. And so you built a Facebook group from 0 to 68,000 people. You've created large launches and stuff and things, and your coaching community is fantastic. You're getting results for clients. So you were invited, I'm going to paint the picture. You're invited to one of the biggest women conventions out there, and you are the Sunday afternoon speaker. And for all of you guys that don't know what the Sunday afternoon speaker is, that's the one that they kind of release at the last minute. They're like, this is the highlighted speaker. Like at Funnel Hacking Live, Tony Robbins speaks on Sunday afternoon. At Grant Cardone's event, I was Magic Johnson spoke that time. Like, those kind of people speak on Sunday afternoon. You're the Sunday afternoon speaker. You just got done delivering your speech or your talk. There's 250,000 people here. They stand up out of their seats. They turn around. The banner above the doors where all the exit signs are, it's like this person, this person, this person, but right in the middle of this massive event is a picture of Starr Codd. What's the one phrase that you want all 250,000 people to remember Starr Codd by?
Well, my vision for women is to have financial independence from a spouse, from an employer, and from anyone, family members or friends. And so my thing is that if I can do it, if she can do it, so can I. They can have financial freedom. They don't have to depend on an employer or a spouse. If anything happens, they have their own money.
That's huge. Like financial independence, that's like severing what society has said. You know what, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. Financial independence for an independent woman, that's an amazing, like, sign me up. I'll come to the event. Like, sign me up. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Mr. Brown. It was awesome to have you on. So guys, make sure you listen to the full outro. We're going to give something away. If it's going to be something super cool, so make sure you listen to the full outro. We always give something away. And inside the show notes, make sure you click and connect with Starr, because if you're an independent woman, if you're a woman entrepreneur, if you're a CEO, if you're somebody that wants to be different and wants to see the success and follow the framework of somebody that's already done it, connect with Starr, because she is amazing. She's got a heart of gold, and she's a coach that will stop you in your tracks, smack you around, and do exactly what you need to get success. So that being said, I will catch all of you guys on the next episode of Burnt Phone Marketing Radio.
Thank you so much for your listenership and your continued support of Burnt Phone Marketing Radio. This is Eric Sablon, and as a bonus to you, I wanted to give you guys a free strategy session with me. All you have to do is go to www.burnphonemarketing.com/book a call, and we will set up a strategy session to help you get unstuck. So that's www.burnphonemarketing.com/book a call.